Do you think he's made a mistake by doing that?
A big mistake. From what I've seen, he used to campaign at 150 pounds. I mean, I think I was last 150 pounds when I was about 8 years old. My big light heavyweight. Everyone's seen that I'm in shape. I'm coming in shape, and I carry a lot of power. I just don't see what he can do. But it doesn't matter what he can do. It's all about what I can do, and I know what I can do, and I'm going to go over there and prove it.
So, Anthony Taylor, what do you know about him?
I don't know anything about him. I don't want to know anything about him because it doesn't change the script on fight night. He's getting knocked spark out. He's a 150-pound MMA guy. He's not fought in a while. I'm a big light heavyweight, as everybody knows. I carry power, and I think he's had one boxing fight, hasn't he? I think
he's lost as well.
Yeah, I think he's had made a massive mistake here. Jake Paul can spar him however he wants. He's probably been having 50-50s with Jake Paul in the gym. So on fight night, I'm going to show that this man won't even be my sparring partner, because when I spar, I'm sparring champions, English champions, British champions. I'm sparring quality people, not some 150-pound again. I think that's something like 10 stone, guy who's an MMA fighter, not even a boxer, and had one fight.
What's good, family? So mash the like button and subscribe. So we just heard there from Tommy Fury. Wow, he down bad. Listen, Tommy, you are a goofy, and I can't wait to get into this analysis because well, since I was 8 years old, I was 150 pounds. 150 pounds. Listen, Tommy, let me tell you something right now. You may have well been 150 pounds since you was 8 years old, but guess what? You and your big brother, Tommy and Tyson, you ain't been able to punch more than 150 pound. In fact, you ain't been able to punch more than an 8-year-old, if the truth be known. So you may as well be 8 years old and 150 pound, because you punch like an 8-year-old 150 pounder. No doubt about that. And that's the problem here with Tommy. Tommy says, oh yeah, look at my muscles, I've got big muscles, I'm Action Man, and I'm a Kendo looking ass, I'm an Action Man. Gives it all that he does. But really, Kendo, listen, muscles. And you know what? The Furies are the biggest contradiction, because one's got loads of muscles, Tommy's got loads of muscles and no power, and Tyson got no muscles and no power. So this goes to show that it truly is. Power is nothing to do with muscles. Power and chin is nothing to do with muscles. And it's also nothing to do with being skinny either. Because Fury got that fat skinny body. I mean, Tyson Fury's got that fat skinny body. And Tommy Fury's got the Action Man body. But neither have a lick of power. And neither have a lick of chin either. So it's quite an interesting study, really. Anyway, I want to get onto the analytical elements here. Or some of the analytical elements of these comments, because Tommy says in one of the comments that when I spar, I'm sparring champions, and he seems quite proud of the fact that he's sparring this real top caliber. But what I find quite shocking is that he keeps talking about sparring, but then when you go and check his boxing record, yeah, no word of a lie, in his whole career, Tommy Fury has fought one man with a winning record, and guess what? That was the fight. He couldn't get a stoppage. Tommy Fury, yeah, has got one stoppage. Sorry, Tommy Fury, in his first 4 fights, he had 4 stoppages. And they were all against people who had a collective record of 2 wins between the 3 of them. You understand that? They had 2 wins. So in Tommy Fury's first 5 fights, he had 4 stoppages, and them man combined had 2 wins out of 4 men. I kid you not. You can see it on your screen now. Do you understand how mad that is? You stopped 4 men, and they have 2 wins between them. But they also had 150 losses. And this guy wants to talk about who he's sparring. Well, if you're sparring all these top English champions and whatnot, why aren't you fighting under them under the lights? Oops. I'll tell you why. Because guess what? Them champions, they have you in. You are their sparring fodder. Do you understand? Tommy Fury is the guy that the champions bring in to get their confidence up, because they know, like I've heard from what I'm hearing from boxing circles, is Tommy Fury is that guy on the circuit who champions reel in when their confidence is low. Yeah, if you've got a fighter, if I'm training a fighter, yeah, and his confidence is low, I'll bring someone like Tommy Fury in. Why? Because he's fit, because he's got a bit of a name, he's got big muscles, and therefore, when my fighter touches him once on the chin and they see this big muscly unit go spark out, it boosts their confidence. They start thinking, wow, I'm still in hard training, but I've just levelled a big action man looking ass. So that's why Tommy Fury is in the training. Equally, it also proves why Tommy Fury is fighting the level of competition he is. Because, guess what? Because he goes to all of these top gyms and gets knocked spark out every time, he knows he can't go in there with the top level. Do you understand? So don't tell me, oh, IB, you're lying. He doesn't go in there with... you know what I'm saying? He doesn't get knocked out in sparring. Because if you disagree, if he didn't get knocked out in sparring, then guess what? He'd be fighting proper fights. His record, or his opponent's collective record, wouldn't be 10 wins and 200 losses, which is what it is right now. And even his next fight, I know it's not... I'm not going to blame him for this next fight, because this is more to do with Jake Paul, but either way, his next fight is another losing record, 0-1. I just think it's classic that the first winning record he fought was his last fight, and we all saw how that went. That fight really should have been a draw. Jordan Grant gave him the work, and he was on about 3 days' notice. Tommy Fury had a 20-week camp for this fight. Tommy Fury was coming off a 20-week camp, training with Josh Taylor and Tyson Fury, and Jordan Grant had about 4 days' notice, and they only changed the opponent because of the backlash. Jake Paul exposed the fact that he was about to fight someone's great uncle. Yeah, Tommy Fury was down to fight someone's great uncle. Forgot his name now. And because Jake Paul exposed that someone's great uncle, who was like 10-50, was about to fight Tommy Fury, they changed the opponent. But even then, they knew that, and this just goes to show again how vulnerable Tommy Fury really is. Because guess what? even when the spotlight was on them, they still only dared to bring in a 2-0. Do you understand? And let's not make out that Tommy Fury is a novice. He's allegedly been in the gym since he was 4 years old. So what's a man who's 4 years old and in his 6th fight fighting a man who's 2-0 on 4 days' notice? Oops. Do you know what he's doing? Frank Warren. I'm not going to blame Frank Warren, because Frank Warren's just had his man's Daniel Dubois beat. But even then, Daniel Dubois didn't get beat by some randomer. He got beat by Joe Joyce. That's because Daniel Dubois is certified. Tommy Fury is not certified. You understand? And even then, when you look at Tommy Fury's fights, he don't really KO anyone. It's all that. He ain't got no snap. He pushes. He pushes his shots. He ain't got no ding on it. Yeah? Because if he did, your man's Jordan Grant would have been smoked. Because they only had 3 days' notice. And I actually think there should be a rematch. I want to see Tommy Fury versus Jordan Grant. Simple as that. About my man Tommy Fury talking about I've got power. Power where? Because it's not in the ring. I think you mean about you've got the power to win votes on TV programs. I think that's what you meant. I've got the power to win a reality TV show. Yeah? Because you ain't got no power in the ring. Let's call a spade here. You ain't got even a bit of power in the ring. Because if you did, your man's Jordan Grant wouldn't have been giving you the work. Jordan Grant spun you on the ropes and backed you up on 2 days' notice. And people don't realise this. Tommy Fury, yeah, like there's some goofy Fury fans who tell me, YB, but he was in Miami. But YB, he wasn't training. What? And you thought Jordan Grant was? Jordan Grant, no doubt, just come off the construction site 2 days before. Jordan Grant will be working a full-time job to support himself. He won't be swanning in Miami with Josh Taylor and Tyson Fury. He'll be working. So don't give me the, oh, well, Tommy Fury was busy. All Tommy Fury has to do every day is train. So don't give me that. And he had 10 weeks' notice he was going to be fighting. Jordan Grant had 4 days' notice and a full-time job otherwise. Yeah? And he turned up, and in my opinion, based on all of the facts, he should have won that fight, truth be known. Or at least got a draw. and should have a rematch, but you best believe Fish Eyes and Tommy Fury ain't going nowhere near Jordan Grant, because Jordan Grant with a full camp will work Tommy Fury all over, 100%. There's no doubt about that. But anyway, Tommy, listen. I'm going to tell you, man, one more time. When Jake Paul gets his hands on Tommy Fury is going to get knocked out. I can just feel it. He's going to fall like a sack of bricks as well. You're going to see a man who looks like Action Man. No word of a lie. You'll turn the TV on and you'll see a man who looks like Action Man just fall like a ton of bricks. And you'll see Molly May in the corner like, oh no, oh. That's what you'll hear, 100%. You'll hear her. Yeah? And Tommy will just go, because he's too heavy. He's too hot. He's too top heavy as well. It's interesting because I told you, man, that Tommy Fury got the muscly genes, but his legs, his legs be missing still. That just shows that the Fury leg gene is extremely dominant. Yeah? The Fury leg gene is extremely dominant. Because even when Tommy Fury is all bodybuilder looking, his legs, they stay chicken. Extremely dominant leg gene. Chicken leg gene, sorry. The Furies have an extremely dominant chicken leg gene. They stay chickens. No matter what. No matter how much weight you do, your legs will stay chicken. As Tommy Fury found out. And what that means is, when you put enough pressure, because he's top heavy, when you put enough pressure on that top half of the triangle, it's going to fall right over. You best believe that.